This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and the real star of today's show is you, the pit crew, because we're here for another edition of the Pit Stop, covering today's sim racing news. And I'll tell you right up front, there's not a lot going on in the world of sim racing today, and this is maybe the slowest news day that I've had since started doing the live shows. But we do have a few things to talk about, and that's just fine, because these shows don't need to be long. We just want to make sure that each and every day we are talking about sim racing news. So if you guys have any stories out there that you think I might have missed, please chime in, let me know what's going on with them, and I will cover those stories as well. So let's get to it. Let's talk about what's going on in the wonderful world of sim racing today. Starting with iRacing, they posted some pictures of the second and third place trophies in the hands of the winners. So we saw the winner, the big champion, walking the stage, but here are the prizes that went out. So you've got Logan Clampett, who took second overall in the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series. And then you've got Bobby Zielinski there from Fresno, California, in third place. So pretty cool looking trophies. And you know, a lot of pride comes with these trophies as well, because that is one of the most cutthroat competitions you're going to get into the World Championship level of iRacing. And maybe not quite the same prize as Visa Vegas, maybe not the same prize as World's Fastest Gamer, but there's no denying the amount of talent it takes to get to that level in iRacing. So congratulations to Logan and Bobby. Job well done. And that's about it from iRacing today. Next up, Raceroom. This is one of the big stories of the day. Today is the day. The Raceroom Porsches are out. So they had the roof Porsches, the RUF, the rough, the roof, whatever you want to call them. And they're, you know, that's sort of been the cheat for getting around the Porsche licensing. But we all want the proper badging. We all know. We all know that roof Porsche is them just trying to get a Porsche into the game. So, they are out. I have some cool images of the cars. I went and checked them out already in the game. I haven't driven them yet, but you got the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car. You've got the Porsche 911 GT3R version of the same car. And then on top of that, you've got the Cayman, which is the one that I'm most eager trying to. Tom, I'll work on that. I will check out Breakfast, and let you guys know how it is. I'll maybe see if I can get that streaming and show you guys what it's all about. So, anyway, today is the day. Get over to Raceroom if you haven't already. I mean, the base of Raceroom is free, and a lot of the content is free. So if you haven't tried it yet, go get it. Certain cars, certain tracks do cost you money. In this case, it looks like the Porsches might show them as free. So it should be free. If I'm wrong about that, please tell me otherwise. But I have not seen pricing for them anywhere. And when I woke up this morning, I fired up my sim, and there they were ready to go. So there you go. There you go. Now, other things in the news. This we mentioned briefly yesterday. There is a story at Racer magazine online, so racer.com, North American Racing. But it is official. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, but here's an official article stating that Mazda ends Laguna Seca naming rights relationship. I believe they still have a stake in the track, but no, I think they're pulling the whole thing now that I'm looking down through the article. And I guess there's good and bad. If they're completely pulling out, that could be bad for Laguna Seca, because I'm sure they need money. You know, the thing about Laguna, as popular a track as it is worldwide recognized as it is, you go to a race at Laguna and it's pretty quiet. It's very hard to get to that track. It's off the beaten path. There's not a lot of lodging to stay at hotel-wise. The RV parking is some of the worst you're going to find at a racetrack, so you're not very inspired to drive there in your Winnebago and camp out. It is an incredible track. It's a great location. It's one of the greatest spots on earth up there in Monterey, California. But their attendance has been low, so they do depend on sponsorship. And so this is one of those things that could be good and bad. As much as it breaks my, or as much as I'm thrilled, because, yeah, as Dorito's going to pull out of the Forza car pack. Very funny, Tom. Tom, you need to start stand-up or something. You are pretty funny. So, but yeah, anyway, it is, it'll be interesting. You know, racing is changing. Racing has always been a big draw to sponsorship, and we've seen a decline in sponsorship in advertising in racing, and drivers are losing rides because they can't get sponsors. Teams are dropping cars because they can't get sponsors. and tracks could start losing their naming. And again, I'm a little mixed feelings on this one. I never liked the idea of branding a track, and at the same time, I don't like the idea of racing drying up without revenue to keep it going. We depend on that revenue to keep racing big. There's no denying it. So, but yeah, Laguna is one of my favorite tracks, and somewhere that I've spent a lot of hours physically at the track, spent countless amount of laps driving the track in a variety of different cars, and it's official. Mazda is no longer going to be naming. It is no longer Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. It is going to be back to being Laguna Seca. So next up in my last big story, this is a game I don't even know about, but I was so dry on short stories. Danger Zone. Looks, we were talking Wreckfest in the chat here, and we'll be checking that out, but Danger Zone adds 12 new levels to the game, and just by the image shown here with the school bus being exploded, puppies, I have never driven the corkscrew in real life. I have walked it, I have looked at it many a time, and I've driven it in the sim, but I can't tell you what it's like in real life. I can tell you what the carousel at Sonoma is like, but I don't have any laps under my belt at Laguna. Tom, great question. I actually did a bicycle race at Laguna, so that's a great question. And you know, I think it is actually done more often than we know. It's just the big races aren't done at racetracks. But I think a lot of regional racing, local racing, you know, amateur level racing. But I've watched a road race at Laguna. The race I did, believe it or not, was actually a downhill mountain bike race. So they had done, it wasn't totally downhill. It was, as far as a downhill, it was pretty wimpy. It was a downhill cross-country event where you started up. It was actually behind the corkscrew on the other side of the hill. Came over the track and then charged down the hill and zigzagged your way around. But we, other than crossing the track, we weren't. I've also watched a rollerblade race on Laguna, which is crazy. The guy's on the speed skates. So I think it is done, but that's a really good question. I think it would be a big event if, like, you were to take the pro-level teams, guys you see in the Tour de France or in other big, giant races, and put them at a real track. What if those guys ran at Le Mans? That would be very cool. Now, in the case of a normal closed track, that's easy to accomplish. But here's the next thing. Is there enough money in it? Yes, the Sea Otter. Todd, you are a man. The Sea Otter Classic. I used to run that race. And I used to run Surf City Cyclocross, if you know the area and you know cycling up there. So, yeah, I have a lot of experience. All my cycling days were up in NorCal. So, anything else you guys have to talk about? Because I am out of news. I'm going to move on to personal agenda stuff, let you know what's going on and what we have planned. If there's anything else you want to talk about, we're still only 9 minutes into the show, so I don't mind taking a little diversion today. While you guys think of that, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the viewer map. We haven't looked at you guys in a long time. Haven't had a lot of new submissions to the map, or the ones that have come in have been sort of in the regions that we've already got some popularity. So if you see this map and you're not on there, if you're new to the show, watching the stream for the first time, be sure to let us all know where you're from so that we can get you on the Pit Crew Pit Map. Pit Crew Pit Map? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, yes, 25 patrons, and I'm thinking of doing a separate map for patrons. So that's something I'm thinking about doing as well. And for you 25 people who've joined our Patreon program, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I was very careful when I built this to make it something that reciprocated. So it wasn't just putting my hand out asking for those donations. And I think it's working out. You guys feel free to jump onto the Patreon and let me know how you think it's working out. But it's very important to me that that program be beneficial to all parties involved. Puppies, I downloaded the new NVIDIA driver and installed it, and it actually totally, excuse me, excuse me, totally screwed up my audio. It turned all my audio into my monitors, and so this morning when I was getting ready to do the show, everything was wrong. I couldn't adjust my headset, and it was a nightmare. It turns out that it changed a bunch of settings on my system overall. So I'm going to get back in there and check the stuttering, because I will not be able to race. Believe it or not, I left that stream yesterday, and you can have a gold star, Tom. Maybe we'll make patrons gold stars. So, but I got such a terrible headache that I literally had to lay down for a few hours. I ended up passing out, waking up at midnight. It was a nightmare evening, and I think that it was a form of motion sickness from that stuttering. And I am very good with motion. I don't get motion sick. So to me, it's actually amazing that I felt that way. Yes, the big one. I need to give you like an honorary patron access. So, Dennis, we couldn't do that series without you guys. Spatially, you have the same problem with NVIDIA turning off your audio. Isn't that stupid? Beyond that, other things, tonight we will have our Battle of the BMW race at 6 p.m. Thursday and Friday nights is when we race. Last night was our practice night, so again, if you're watching this stream for the first time, you're going to want to get in there and race with us. We have a really good time. Both the practice events, Dennis, we've been talking about his practice server up 24/7 for everybody to get out there and give it a try. We share setups, we share advice, we share paint, and we have a good time. So tonight at 6 p.m., will be the live stream of my race. Do have a few other things planned for the day, but I don't want to tell you what they are because they're still liquid. We're still working on it. Mitchie and I are going to try to do another video together, so that will be pretty good. And Tom says that me and John Hill should drive around in real life to see if you can make yourself throw up. No, but if you want to see me near throwing up, you go watch that Sim Racing Drunk show, because I only lasted about 10 minutes after the show before I was, hugging the porcelain bowl. So anyway, that is going to do it for today. I had a little brain fart as I was thinking of something else to say, but that really is it. I am going to get out there. It is the holiday season. So number one, I want to wish you and your families all the best. I hope you have a great holidays. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I'm not trying to single any out, but happy holidays to everybody out there. And I hope you do get the time to be with your family. And if not, pick up the phone and tell them you love them. Family is important. Family is everything. And this is the time of season when it's important that we get back to our roots. My brother's birthday is actually tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to do a live stream at 9 a.m. and then I'm off the air for the rest of the day. I'm going to hang out with my brother. Means I'm not going to make tomorrow night's race in the Battle of the Beamers. I'll be hanging out with my brother, but he's a very important person in my life, so I'm going to make sure that he has a great birthday tomorrow. Over the weekend, I have nothing officially planned. Sim Tunnel will be on hold until after the new year. With the 2 holiday weekends, we'll just pick that up in the new year when we get going. So over the weekends through the holidays, nothing official, but you know me, if I'm home, I can't help it. I'll go streaming something. So, yes, my brother has a full head of hair. My brother is much more handsome than I am. So, what can you do? What can you do? But I have a sim show, so what can you do? He's holding on to his hair. No, he's only 2.5 years younger, but he looks 10 years younger than I do. So, and it is his birthday tomorrow. So, wish him all a happy birthday. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the pit crew and making this all possible. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. It helps us grow. It helps others see that you like our show. Share our videos on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Do what you can to help us grow the channel, and the simplest things go a real long way when it comes to that. And with growth, we can bring you more characters, more cast members, more editing, more videos, more of everything. So you do your part, you like this, you share it, and you let the whole world know about the Simpit. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another edition of the Pit Stop. Be back tonight at 6 p.m. with Battle of the Beamers, and we'll randomly throw another stream or two in over the next few days and over the weekend. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you have a great weekend if you're not here tomorrow. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.